The second coming Trump returns to the White House. Donald J. Trump has once again defied expectations. He has secured victory in the 2024 U.S. presidential election, marking a stunning return to the Oval Office. Trump's victory, while not a landslide, was decisive. He garnered 312 electoral votes, surpassing the 270 required to win. His popular vote count was significant as well, reaching 77,285,106 votes, or 49.8% of the total votes cast. This victory cements Trump's place as a dominant force in American politics. It is a testament to his enduring appeal among a significant portion of the electorate. His return is not a mere changing of the guard, it represents a seismic shift in the political landscape. Trump has already begun shaping his administration. He has appointed key allies to powerful positions, signaling his policy direction for the upcoming term. Among the notable appointments is Doug Burgum, the governor of North Dakota, as the Secretary of the Interior. This appointment suggests a focus on energy independence and potentially a rollback of environmental regulations. Perhaps the most controversial appointment is that of Trump's former criminal defense lawyer as the Deputy Attorney General. This move has raised concerns about the politicization of the Justice Department and the potential for conflicts of interest. However, Trump's supporters argue that he is simply choosing loyal and capable individuals who will implement his agenda effectively. Battleground battlefield, a nation divided by red and blue. The 2024 election results paint a picture of a nation deeply divided along political lines. The familiar red and blue hues of the electoral map illustrate the geographical and ideological fault lines that continue to define American politics. Key battleground states, often viewed as bellwethers of national sentiment, reflected this stark division. Florida, a perennial swing state with a diverse electorate, narrowly swung in favor of Trump. He secured 51.2% of the vote, a testament to his enduring appeal among the state's conservative base and Hispanic voters. Similarly, Texas, a Republican stronghold, remained firmly in Trump's column with 52.1% of the vote. On the other hand, states like Pennsylvania and Michigan, which had flipped in favor of Biden in 2020, remained Democratic strongholds. Harris narrowly won Pennsylvania with 50% of the vote, while Michigan also went blue with 50.6% for Harris. The close margins in these states underscore the highly competitive nature of the election and the deep polarization that persists. Georgia, another state that had flipped blue in the previous election, narrowly remained in the Democratic column with 49.5% for Harris. Arizona, a state that has been trending towards the Democrats in recent years, also went for Harris with 49.4% of the vote. The results in these states demonstrate the shifting demographics and the increasing competitiveness of traditionally red states. Echoes of discontent. A divided nation grapples with Trump's return. Trump's return to the White House has been met with a mixture of jubilation and despair across the United States. His supporters, many of whom never accepted the results of the 2020 election, view his victory as a vindication of their beliefs and a repudiation of the political establishment. They see in Trump a strong leader who will challenge the status quo and fight for their interests. Conversely, Trump's opponents are filled with a sense of dread and apprehension. They view his presidency as a threat to American democracy and its institutions. They fear a further erosion of democratic norms, a rollback of civil rights, and a return to divisive rhetoric and policies. The divisions in American society, exacerbated by years of political polarization and misinformation, are now deeper than ever. The 2024 election has served as a stark reminder of these divisions, and Trump's victory has only intensified them. The coming years will likely be marked by continued political turmoil and social unrest as both sides grapple with the implications of a second Trump presidency. A world watching international reactions to Trump's re-election. The international community has reacted to Trump's re-election with a mixture of apprehension, uncertainty, and in some cases, cautious optimism. Trump's first term was marked by an unorthodox approach to foreign policy, characterized by his America First rhetoric, withdrawal from international agreements, and imposition of tariffs. Allies are watching closely, anxious about the potential for renewed trade wars, a weakening of NATO, and a more isolationist United States. The European Union in particular is concerned about the future of transatlantic relations and the potential for economic and political instability. Countries like China and Russia, often at odds with the United States, are also closely observing Trump's moves. They see both opportunities and risks in his return. While Trump's unpredictable nature creates uncertainty, they also recognize the potential for exploiting divisions within the Western alliance. Section 5. Through the Looking Glass. Trump's victory in historical context. Trump's 2024 victory stands as a unique chapter in American political history. It is only the second time since Grover Cleveland in 1892 that a US president has returned to the White House after losing a re-election bid. This victory underscores the enduring appeal of Trump's brand of populism and his ability to connect with a base of voters who feel left behind by the political establishment. The 2024 election also marks a continuation of the trend of close and bitterly contested presidential elections in the United States. Since the turn of the century, no presidential candidate has won the popular vote by more than 10 percentage points. This suggests a deepening partisan divide and a highly competitive electoral landscape where small shifts in voter sentiment can have significant consequences. Section 6. The term limit tightrope. Trump's ambitions and constitutional constraints. One of the most concerning aspects of Trump's return to power is his apparent disregard for democratic norms and institutions. During his campaign, he repeatedly made statements suggesting a desire to stay in office beyond the constitutionally mandated 2 terms. These statements, while often vague and open to interpretation, have raised alarm bells among those concerned about the future of American democracy. The US Constitution explicitly limits presidents to 2 terms in office. However, Trump's comments, coupled with his appointment of loyalists to key positions, have fueled speculation about his willingness to challenge these limits. Whether he genuinely believes he can circumvent the Constitution or is simply engaging in rhetorical posturing remains to be seen. Section 7. Policy pendulum. The potential impacts of a second Trump term. Trump's return to the White House has significant implications for domestic and international policy. Based on his previous term and campaign promises, it is likely that he will pursue an agenda focused on economic nationalism, immigration restriction, deregulation, and a more assertive foreign policy. Domestically, Trump is expected to continue his efforts to dismantle the Affordable Care Act, cut taxes for corporations and wealthy individuals, and roll back environmental regulations. He has also pledged to crack down on illegal immigration and build a wall along the US-Mexico border. Internationally, Trump's foreign policy is likely to be characterized by a continued emphasis on America First principles. He has expressed skepticism about international organizations like NATO and has shown a willingness to engage in trade wars with allies and adversaries alike. Section 8. Polarization Nation. The deepening divides in American society. Trump's presidency has exacerbated existing divisions in American society. His rhetoric and policies have inflamed racial tensions, fueled white nationalism, and deepened the partisan divide. The 2024 election has only intensified these divisions, leaving the country more polarized than ever. The rise of social media and the proliferation of misinformation have played a significant role in this polarization. Trump himself is a master of using social media to bypass traditional media outlets and communicate directly with his base. He has repeatedly used Twitter and other platforms to spread falsehoods, attack his opponents, and sow discord. Section 9. The Unpredictable Future. Navigating the uncharted waters of a second Trump presidency. The return of Donald Trump to the White House marks the beginning of an uncertain and potentially tumultuous chapter in American history. His presidency is likely to be characterized by continued political turmoil, social unrest, and unpredictable policy shifts. Trump's disregard for democratic norms, his willingness to challenge the rule of law, and his penchant for impulsiveness make him a uniquely dangerous figure in American politics. The world watches with bated breath as he embarks on his second term, uncertain of what the future holds. One thing is certain, the next 4 years will be anything but ordinary. The stakes are high, and the consequences of Trump's actions will be felt both domestically and internationally for years to come.